So my name is Rob Greenwood and I work for UKClimbing, which is Britain's most popular climbing and mountaineering website. And today we're in the Burbage Valley, which is home to some of Britain's, most popular, not only bouldering, but also climbing, trad climbing as well. And part of the reason for this popularity is the fact that the rock here, the gritstone, is just some of the best around. And it's known as God's own rock to many, because basically its friction makes it exceptionally aesthetic to climb upon. So we're here on a really cold, breezy February day, which is the perfect kind of day in many ways if you're looking to do a lot of the hardest bouldering, because those lower temperatures will make the rock feel that bit stickier. However, it is really, really cold. And actually coming here throughout the spring and potentially even the summer can make for a much more enjoyable, albeit maybe a little more recreational day. So in terms of conditions, earlier this morning it was actually raining to begin with, and as a result I actually didn't bring my rock boots or my bouldering mat in with me because I was worried that actually the rock might be a little damp. And wet rock is bad for several reasons. The first of which is because when you actually climb on that rock, it can actually damage it, which isn't good. The second of which is that wet rock really isn't pleasant to climb on, so don't do it. It's slippery, it's nasty, it's horrible, and the fact that it does do lasting damage is something that we should all try and avoid. So when you do come bouldering, use a bouldering mat not just to save your ankles, but also to save for erosion on the ground. You'll see around here that there's areas of sort of grit and mud. All of that could easily just be nice grass if we just looked after the land that little bit more. Another thing which you'll see here as well is we've got chalk and we've got tick marks as well marking the rock. Now, whilst we all use chalk, it's best practice if you can just give it a gentle brush beforehand, just to leave it so that it's like it will be in its natural state. And it means that whoever's coming climbing after you can have it in that same brilliant, nice, fresh state. Another top tip in terms of your own climbing performance is to do with your rock shoes. If you are walking around in them in either muddy or wet areas, be sure to clean them off before you start. And there's two reasons for this. The first is that basically it'll be much, much grippier for you, much, much nicer for you to have that clean pair because they'll stick to the rock. The second again is because of erosion. And what you'll see here is some areas where the rock has become worn, and the reason for this is because people, when they have little bits of grit and grains of sand and dust on their feet, just grinds away at the rock over time. So clean your shoes because it will make a massive difference. So when it comes to crag access and etiquette, that starts before you even actually get to the rock. It starts simply within the car park and actually finding an appropriate place to park. Now in the Burbage Valley there's several options, but they do fill up on really busy weekends. And if you do find it full, don't just park your car almost in a semi-crashed state on the side of the road or in front of a farmer's gate. Maybe think about changing your plans and going elsewhere, because it's better to do that than it is to cause an access issue. So the other thing as well is once you've parked up, and there might be a chance you've had a strong coffee before you arrive in and nature's calling. Now if you need a pee outdoors, that is perfectly natural. Now whilst pooing outdoors isn't unnatural, it's nicer for everyone if you can to do it either whilst you're at home or somewhere else en route in some public facilities. If you do really have to go when you're outside, bring a towel and try to bury your waist far away from any watercourse. So when it comes to top tips, if you're climbing at Burbage South, the first thing I would say is have a good look at the guidebook before you actually come. Because there might be certain problems that you get particularly psyched for, and there also may be some areas which are much nicer to warm up. So say, today's really cold and really breezy, so finding a nice bit of rock like this that's actually out of the wind and with a few easier problems will just mean that you can get your blood flowing and your fingers nice and warm. And then from there, the best thing to do if you've never been is just look around, have a walk, see what looks fun, and then do whatever the hell you like, irrespective of its grade. Just go and have a play in the local environment and then have fun.